Okay, so here we go. Welcome back. Time to get to work. Students will be able to write quadratic functions. So today we're looking at writing quadratic functions. We've solved them, we've factored them, and now we're going to be writing them. So a quadratic function is anything with that x squared, all right? Quadratic parent function, y equals x squared, okay? So that's the parent function. Parabola, that's the shape of the quadratic function. The x-intercept is where the parabola crosses the x-axis. It's also called a solution, root, zero, or factor. The vertex is the very lowest or the very highest point of the parabola. The axis of symmetry is that line that goes straight through the center. Maximum means it has a highest point, like a mountain. Minimum means it has a lowest point, like a valley. Quadratic formula, we've worked through this now. Where the discriminant, if the discriminant's bigger than 0, you have 2 real solutions. If it's less than 0, you have no real solutions. And if it's equal to 0, you have 1 real solution. Okay, so standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And vertex form, this is what we're looking at today, vertex form. So pay very close attention. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. So h and k is the vertex. Okay, notice there's already a negative here, so it's always going to be the opposite of what h is, the x coordinate, and then k is just going to be whatever the y coordinate is. X equals h is the axis of symmetry, not minus h, just the h, okay? So here, the vertex is negative 2 and 4. Now notice it's a plus 2, because it's always the opposite, okay? And then plus 4 here. The axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2, okay? The opposite of here. So, we're going to try that today. I'm going to list out all the steps here, step by step, and then you have a few problems on the back of the paper for you to work out on your own. Okay, so step number 1, plug in h and k from the vertex into the equation. Okay, so it says that our vertex is 2, 3, passing through 4, negative 5. This is our formula. So we have y equals ax minus h squared plus k. All right? They want us to plug in h and k from the vertex into the equation. So we're going to do that. Y equals ax minus, and let me do this in another color so you can see it. What was our h? It's the 2, okay? X minus h squared plus, and what's our k? It's the 3 plus 3. All right? So that's all we did, is we just plugged in the vertex 2 and 3. If you see it, put a check mark right here. Okay, that's all we did. If you don't see it, you need to raise your hand so I can explain it to you. Don't move on till you understand it. Okay, so we've plugged that in. Let's rewrite it so that it looks pretty. So y equals ax minus 2 squared plus 3. All right, that's where we're at. Next step, use any other point on the parabola and substitute for x and y. Okay, so we're using this point here, and we're going to substitute for x and y. So let's rewrite the equation we already have. Y equals ax minus 2 squared plus 3. We're going to replace this y and this x with this point, x and y. Okay, so we'll rewrite it. What is our y coordinate? It's this negative 5. Okay, so negative 5 equals what's our x coordinate? Our x coordinate's this 4. 4 minus 2 squared plus 3. Okay? Give me a check mark right here if you see what we did. If you don't see it, pause. Call me over so I can explain it. We're going to rewrite this so it looks pretty. Negative 5 equals 4 minus 2 squared plus 3. All right. Number 3 says solve the equation for a. All right, so we have negative 5 equals a 4 minus 2 squared plus 3. Now we're going to solve. You ready? First step is parentheses. We need to simplify this. 4 minus 2. So negative 5 equals a. What is 4 minus 2? It's 2. Squared plus 3. Okay, now let's deal with our exponent. Okay, negative 5 equals a times 2 squared is 4 plus 3. Okay, so this a to the 4th is the same as saying negative 5 equals 4a plus 3. Same thing, okay? They're just multiplying. It doesn't matter which way you write it. All right, our next step. Looking at this, we want a by itself. So what do we need to get rid of first? This 3. So we'll subtract the 3 from both sides. So negative 5 minus 3 is what? Type it in. Negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8 equals 4a. Okay, let's move this down a little bit. Okay, what's our next step? Trying to get a by itself. They're multiplying, so how do we get rid of multiplying? You divide. So we're dividing by 4. That cancels. A equals, what's negative 8 divided by 4? It's negative 2. Okay, so a is negative 2. That was step 3. Okay, we've done step 3. Step 4, rewrite your function using the values of a, h, and k. If you need to do this, do this. A was negative 2. H is what? Let's go back up to the top. What is h? H is this 2. So h is 2. And then k is what? K is this 3. Okay? K is the 3. So we're going to rewrite our equation with those numbers. So we have y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Remember, that's our equations written at the top. So now we're just going to plug things in. We're plugging in a, h, and k. You ready? Y equals, what was a? A was negative 2. X minus, what's h? H is 2. Squared plus, what is k? K is 3. Okay, pause, look at it, put a check mark on the side if you understand what just happened. If you do not understand, pause, call me over and let me explain it to you. We're going to rewrite it to look prettier. So y equals negative 2 x minus 2 squared plus 3. Okay, multiply through and simplify so that your equation is in standard form. Remember standard form? Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So to do that, we'll rewrite our equation. Y equals negative 2x minus 2 squared plus 3. Here's how you put it in standard form. You ready? So we have x minus 2 squared, right? So let's come over to the side here and do our box. X minus 2, x minus 2. X times x is x squared. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So we have x squared. When you combine these two, you get minus 4x plus 4. You should be able to do this by now. Okay. So we're going to plug it in. Y equals -2. Instead of writing this, we're writing this. Okay, same thing. X squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 3. Okay, the next step is to multiply. So y equals -2 times x squared is -2x squared. -2 times -4 is a positive 8x. -2 times positive 4 is -8. And then don't forget this plus 3 at the end. The very last step is to combine like terms. So we have y equals -2x squared plus 8x, -8 plus 3, -5. Now, I realize this is a lot of work. It's a lot of steps. It will take time. That's why you only have 4 or 5 problems. You don't have very many. So go step by step, following each individual step. Come and check with me if you're unsure if you did something right at one point. You will not sit there doing nothing. You must do this. This is something you have to know to graduate Algebra 1. Okay? You can do it. I know it's a lot of steps, but you can do it. Okay? Just believe that you can do it. Just try. Okay? Even if you can just get down to step number 5, and that's as far as you can go, I'm okay with that. I just want you to try. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.